Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are here to discuss the latest episode of Real Housewives of Miami. I believe this is episode 6, 7. It's the aftermath of the text messages. How about that one? And I just need to say at the top of this, after this episode came on last night, Julia and Isaac Mizrahi were on Watch What Happens Live, and Isaac Mizrahi was insufferable. Insufferable. Julia, she's never gonna be good again in my book, right? But at least she was trying to take somewhat of accountability and come and talk through and like say that she knows she was wrong about things. And Isaac kept just honestly being Isaac. If you've seen any type of interview with him, anything with him in it, you know. If you know, you know, right? He's known for this just over the top, might say ridiculous things type of personality. So Julia gives a really great apology about like how she knows she shouldn't have thrown the water and yada yada yada. And Isaac literally turns around and goes, "Can I say something? I'm glad you threw the water at that lady. I used to like her, but now, and now I have something to talk about out of this season." Okay. It's honestly just so ridiculous, and you cannot convince me that if it were the other way around and Gertie would have thrown the water on Julia, that he would think that was funny, right? But getting into the episode, Julia's retelling the events, right? And we see a flashback in which she does go back into the party and asks Gertie, like, what did you hope to gain from that? And then she does not let Gertie answer. She does not let her answer. Don't ask me a question like, what did I hope to gain from that? And then you keep cutting me off. Like, this beef between Gertie and Julia, that Julia is carrying, by the way, is fucking weird. I'm so over it. It's time to wrap it the fuck up because it's not giving what it's supposed to have gave mama, and the mama is Julia. And then again, Julia with this omittance of information, because when she's retelling the story to Martina, which by the way, I don't think it matters. Like, she could tell Martina the whole truth, and I think Martina is gonna be like, yeah, you were right, babe, right? Because that's her girl, or her woman. But she does not say that she went up to Russell to try and tell her side of the story. And again, I don't know why the fuck you think Russell is going to listen to your side of the story. Had Martina, like, I think that was a question that Julia was asked during Watch What Happens Live. Also, a fan wrote in and was like, why are you trying to talk to Russell and tell him your side? And she's like, I just wanted to talk to him like humans and blah, 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 something really silly. I could see if she was like, I wanted to apologize to Russell because I had a previous like relationship with Gertie, and by that way him, and I know their family is going through a lot. I think they're an amazing family, so I just wanted to extend the apology that I gave to Gertie to Russell as well. You see how easy that is? But she's not framing it like that, which really makes me think that she does not mean well. You know what I mean? But anyways, her and Martina are having this silly talk on the dock, and Martina says the most egregious thing. She says, you know, Gertie beat cancer, and this is what she's gonna do with her time left on this earth. And back in the day, it would have been a death wish. Okay, since you want to talk about what somebody's gonna do with their time left on this earth, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you, Martina, because what she's doing with her time left on this earth is spreading nasty transphobic rhetoric all over the internet. What she's doing with the rest of her time on this earth is saying really ignorant things about people who choose surrogacy. That's what she's choosing. So one could say that you are wasting the time that you got back. Okay, because let me tell you something. If you think that text messages on a projector are worse than transphobia, I fear for your mental just capacity. Honestly, truly. God, and then they start talking about freaking, these are Chanel sneakers and I don't give a fuck. Anyways, moving on. Stephanie shows us the house that her and, what is her man saying? It don't matter. That her and that man are going to move into, I guess. And the tea on it is that was him and his ex-wife's house, right? And I guess the ex-wife had to get out, and Stephanie is gutting it all, completely gutting it. Move the pool, like all of these things that would have been made easier if they just bought a new house. Could just sold that house and bought a new one, but whatever. And I just find it so interesting because she kind of tells on herself. I mean, the internet is buzzing with like their timelines not really adding up and people saying that there was some overlap between the ex-wife and her. But it's just so extra, even for people with that much money. Like, babe, just, you could have built a new house from the ground up. You can gut it completely. It's not going to change the fact that another woman lived there. It's just not. She's like, oh, I wanted to change this so everywhere Masood, that's his name, Masood turns, he's not reminded of the past. He has children with that woman. Like, yes, we all want to forget our exes, but like, please be serious. If it was that serious, you would get a new house. Why don't you just go get a new house? It's so silly. It really is so silly to me. I can't deal with it. It's just giving that they want to flex their wealth. That's all it's giving. Now, we got a sneak peek. Well, not a sneak peek, but we got a peek at Dr. Nicole. I want her to come back so bad. I want her to come back. I want her to come back. I want her to come back. She's the only one with sense. She's the only one with sense. It's hurting my brain, but I fear she's not coming back. She told this story on, I think, a podcast about how she and Anthony were being followed by a PI, and she found out that one of the cast members who wanted to be full-time hired a PI to follow them to get dirt. We all know that's Marisol. We all know that's Marisol. Let's be for real. Let's use our brains, right? But speaking of Marisol, the only reason Marisol really keeps this beef up with Adriana is because she has nothing else, right? If she does not have beef with Adriana, what does she have? And we all know that Marisol wants to be full-time, but it just ain't happening. It's just not happening. Now, was Adriana drunk as hell on that yacht? Absolutely. Absolutely. And honestly, I loved every minute of it. I loved every single minute of it. She was not coming up off Marisol and them drunken cracked ashy knees, as she would say. And you know what kills me is Marisol talking about anybody being a drunk. She's like, at least I'm a fun drunk. Your whole personality at your big age is cockies. Okay, and you know what? I was thinking during this, I said maybe Marisol would be full-time if she gave a little bit back. Like, she is just sitting there doing nothing. Engage in the argument with Adriana, even if it's just for work, because hello, you're at work. Duh. The women have to separate into two boats, and honestly, I'm not like even paying attention to who's on what boat. I find it so weird that Alexia and Stephanie keep getting into these little tiffs, right? Because the next morning, like, I think, who is it? Marisol FaceTime Stephanie, I think. And she was like, how's the Rottweiler? And she's like, oh, she's right here. And Alexia starts going the fuck off. And it's like, girl, you literally just called yourself a Rottweiler and her a Chihuahua. They have a very weird beef going on. I'm not really on, well, I was gonna say I'm not on either side. No, I guess I'm not, because I said last week, like, Stephanie needs to like leave the whole Todd thing alone. She said she will. But at the same time, Alexia's she's always threatened by the new girls. She's always threatened by the new girls that have more money than her. I just figured it out. Easy read. She did the same thing with Nicole. Anyways, that whole conversation on the boat between Adriana and Julia, oh, again, made my head hurt. Julia's literally saying the same thing that Adriana's saying, right? Julia says, why did you not come with me when the text message thing happened? She said, and Adriana said, somebody needs to be mediator, right? Somebody needs to like hear both sides out and try and make you guys work it out. Why did you not come with me when it came down to me versus Alexia and Marisol? And what does Julia say? I need to hear both sides. Y'all saying the same damn thing. So what's the issue, Julia? What's the motherfucking issue? Except for the fact that she wants to be all up Marisol and Alexia's asses. Like, it really, really is. There's nothing around it. Even Dr. Nicole said it. For the love of God, somebody finally said what I've been waiting for them to say. Putting text up on a wall is not as bad as throwing water on somebody. Thank you, Adriana. She may be drunk. She may be drinking, but she be making sense. And I was not here for that whole sit down dinner, because the way they tried to, as a group, condemn Gertie, I hated it. I hated it. And then they tried to say, we weren't cool with the drink throw either. Yeah, but you did not sit around at a table and condemn Julia in front of Gertie like you're trying to do about these freaking text messages. And to literally say that you would rather see DPs than text messages, y'all gotta be serious. Y'all gotta be serious. Y'all gotta be serious. Be serious. Be serious. Be serious. You can't be real. Right? And it's so funny because now Alexia is trying to walk all this back and being like, oh, I wish I would have done more, blah, blah. It was common sense back then and it's common sense now. The only thing that's not making sense is you did not expect that the audience would be on Gertie's side. And you know what? Alexia and Marisol do this every single year, every single season since the show came back. They think the audience is going to feel one way, and then they see the audience reaction and they try to start slowly switching up their tune. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's just so bleh. And there is an isolation of Gertie going on here, right? And I don't care. You can be annoyed by Gertie, whatever. But I'm going to say it every week. If you think Gertie is too much, then you should think that all of these women are too much because they all act the same way. They're all extra as hell, right? I want my show to get back to being fun. We need to get back to being fun. I don't know what type of fucking pact they had to all isolate Gertie, but I don't like it. Even Kiki is pissing me off, okay? Ew. That's gonna be it for today. Don't forget to drop down in the comments and let me know how you are feeling about this episode of Real Housewives of Miami. Don't forget to like, and of course, do not forget to subscribe, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.